Hello, this is Hound 4004. Welcome back to a brand new Minecraft snapshot. This is the first snapshot of 1.16.2 in the pre-release category. So this is 1.16.2 pre-release 1. So there's quite a few bug fixes, but there is a couple of changes as well. So let's go over them. Also though, there is now some sort of hint as when we can see 1.16 coming out, so which we expect to happen in a few weeks. So it's not really an exact example or showcase of when it will be coming out, but we get at least some sort of idea when it might be coming out, when they're planning to have this version of 1.16 come out. Back over to Minecraft though, there is a couple changes as I said in the beginning. So let's go over them. So as you know, chains can be waterlogged, but also chains can be waterlogged. Chains can now be placed in any direction, which I mean, that's kind of weird. If you think about chains, they kind of dangle down. To see this is really weird. When will we be able to place lanterns sideways? I mean, because now I just feel like we need some sideways lanterns to go on the sideways chains. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but vote for sideways lanterns. So, Endermen can sometimes carry blocks, right? And they can now go into the nether dimensions. So they can teleport on top of the bedrock ceiling, and they can place blocks on top of the bedrock. So that could be very annoying, or just very confusing when you went on top of the bedrock in the nether. So now Endermen will no longer be able to place any of their blocks that they decided to grab on top of bedrock. As you know, piglins love gold, but as you may know, if you are wearing gold but break a chest, they will get angry at you. That did not apply to minecarts with chests. But we go ahead and hop into survival mode, place down a piglin, and then break a minecart chest. As you can see, the piglin is mad until he grabs the gold chest plate that I threw over there. So let's say you had a villager. He had a workstation and was happy, but you tried to transport him through the village and into a nether portal. Unfortunately, he didn't go through the nether portal, but if you get a villager through the nether portal, they will now lose their job site and try to keep going back to their village. Under chat settings, chat delay has now been added into the options, so you can now turn on chat delay in chat settings itself. Now there is more accessibility settings. Distortion effects such as nausea and nether portal overlay can now be reduced inside Minecraft. At lower values, the nausea effect is replaced with a green overlay as an alternative version. So if you had the nausea effect on you, instead of it kind of spinning your Minecraft screen, you will just see green. Field of view effects shown after speed modifiers are applied can also now be reduced. There's some technical changes. Custom world generation and dimension settings now use the same folder pattern in data packs as other resources. There's a few bugs in this version which we will go over. So let's say you had a bubble column that is an entity, but it's also a non-solid block. Before, if you were to throw an egg on that, the egg would break on the bubble column, but as you can now see, the egg kind of, it goes past and through the bubble column onto this side over here. So if you throw an egg on a bubble column, your egg will no longer break on said bubble column. So let's say you had a raid going on and somehow lightning got struck on a villager, which would make, of course, the raid stop, right? Because one of the villagers is technically dead or has changed. So that would make the raid stop. But if the villager was turned into a witch, the raid would still go on. Now your raid will stop. If a villager was nicely riding in a minecart and somehow got turned into a zombie villager, they would get put out of the minecart and they would not be in the minecart. So now you can have your villagers in a minecart when they are being zombified. Banners were rendered to look dark in the inventory, but now they are really bright. Not sure if this change looks good either. I think they almost look better dark. Some of the brand new plants had a bug in the last snapshot where basically, as you know, you need silk touch or shears to be able to pick up these items. But in the last snapshot, you could pick them up no problem with no tool at all. You punch them with your fist and you could get them. But now you have to use shears or silk touch once again. If you had the soul speed enchantment and were running on soul sand with slabs, usually slabs should keep the same effect of the block below, so you should have still been able to use soul speed when you were walking on slabs right on top of soul sand. That did not work, but now that can work again, so you can now use slabs on top of your nether highways. If you were saddled on a strider and looking up with warp fungus on a stick, somehow the strider would suffocate. If, let's say, this was lava and there was a strider on there, if you were to walk down, you were able to walk on a strider. So, I mean, I guess in the last snapshot, you could have made another pathway out of striders. Why would you want to do that instead of ride them? I don't know, but it was a thing you could do. Now you can't. Another fix with striders, hopefully you're not getting tired of striders. Striders would go out of lava. If you watch my Nether survival series, I punched striders back into lava because they kept going out of lava. And they obviously were choosing to stay out of lava. Now striders will try to pathfind towards lava and stay inside of lava. If a player was invisible and there was a crossbow wielding piglin and they were pursuing an invisible player, they would kind of go all crazy. Ones with regular swords were somehow just fine, but only the ones with the crossbow went crazy. If you used a smithing table or stone cutter for the first time, the recipes would not be unlocked when using it. Now they are. If a piglin was sitting in a minecart and they zombified, they would sink through the block under the minecart. Raids would not end if all the villagers were dead, but all their job sites were still around. The game would crash while a mob was being rid by a guardian and a wither skeleton. How does a guardian ride anything? I don't know. But I guess that will have to be the question for later, because that was everything. Well, mostly everything. Like, I didn't go over every single bug fix, because some of them are just so small. You'd never notice them. But I went over the main ones, and that's everything for the snapshot. So, see you next time. For now, this is Helm 4004, saying goodbye.